Okay, guys, let's go through some solving with the absolute values and the inequalities that we've been dealing with. So remember, the big idea is to get the absolute value by itself. So in this case, I can see the absolute values by itself. So we're going to make our two branches. First branch, we drop everything, drop both absolute values and leave everything else alone. So it's going to be b plus 5 is greater than or equal to 7. So exactly the same, but the absolute value bars are dropped. I'm going to add the word or. Now in the next one, remember, we focus on changing that part of it. So the b plus 5 is still there, but this part right here, we're going to flip it and we're going to change it. So we're going to flip the inequality the other way, and that positive 7 is going to become negative 7. Okay, now we're just going to go through and do some solving. So if I have plus 5 on each side that I need to get rid of, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 5. Cancels, I'm left with b. And then on this side, 7 minus 5 is 2. Bring down my or. On the other one, because it is also plus 5, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I'm left with b and this inequality, and negative 7 minus 5 is going to be negative 12. So when I go to graph, the only two numbers that I care about are 2 and negative 12. So I'm going to make my number line. Negative 12 is smaller, so I'm going to put it at this end. And then 2 is bigger, so it's going to go up here. Now, honestly, you can go through and do all those little marks and count all the numbers in between. But really, if they care about negative 12 and 2, put those on there. Okay, because these have equal to with them, that means when I go to make the dots in a minute, they are going to be filled in. So I'm going to do a filled in circle at 2 because of this piece. And it's greater than, so my line is going to go this way. Now remember, what we did talk about in class is that the way that inequality is pointing should help you figure out which way your line's got to go. Okay, now if I go to the other one, because of this inequality, I know that I'm going to have a closed or filled in circle. If I look at the direction of this, that's going to help me know that it's going to go in the same direction, so it's going to go this way. So this is going to be one where the lines kind of run off the opposite ends of both ends of the line. Okay, let's take a look at one more. On this one, we need to be able to solve and graph as well. But in order to get this absolute value by itself, I need to get rid of this minus 10. So the opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10. So I have the absolute value of w minus 8 is less than, and negative 3 plus 10 is positive 7. Now that the absolute value is by itself, I can do my two brackets. So w minus 8 is less than 7 is the first one, just dropping the absolute value bars. In the second one, w minus 8 is there, but remember, we're working on taking that piece right there and flipping the sign and the sign of the number. So less than becomes greater than, and positive 7 becomes negative 7. Okay, now I just have to solve for w. So with this minus 8 there, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to add 8. So w is less than 15. Bring my or down. Now I'm going to add 8 on both sides here too. So w is greater than 1. So the numbers that they care about are 15 and 1. So if I do a number line, 1's going to be smaller and 15 is going to be bigger. So if I look at this, because the inequalities that are here, because there's no equal to, that means there's going to be open circles. So if I do the first one, open circle at 15, this tells me which way my line is going to go. So my line's going to go this way. And on this one, open circle at 1. And this tells me which way my line's going to go. So that tells me it's going to go this way. Now, if I look, I can almost see that they share. I'm just going to highlight this and I'll fix it in a minute. They basically, both graphs share that in common, right? So what you do, let me change colors. I'm going to bring this open circle up to the line and go here. Bring this open circle down in here. And this is the spot they share in common. So the answer for this is actually where they overlap, which would be between 1 and 15. Okay, go over your question or your foldables that we've done in class. Any questions, text me or email me tonight. This will be